Today I'm speaking to Armin Schwarztrauber, and he's the owner and CEO of ISOlogic, one of the most successful consultancy companies for ISO standards in South Africa. And what I'm interested in the most is his experience with Advisera's Conformio software. And before we actually dive into Conformio, can you describe what is it that you do actually, and what is it that makes your company special?
Right, yes. So we have a USP, a unique selling proposition that says we implement ISO systems in a fast and efficient way that is affordable and uncomplicated, with a minimum level of intrusiveness and maximum level of rewards. Well, that's our USP. And what happened over the last 26 years, we have developed and refined a unique methodology to implement ISO systems, particularly in smaller companies, right? Because we all know ISO implementation can be very complicated, even burdensome, right? Can take many months. Mm-hmm. So our implementation method, we keep paperwork to its absolute minimum, and we put emphasis on the practical application of the standard. And that methodology assures that when we're done, our client finds himself with a system that serves him and not the other way around, that he is now serving an ISO standard. Another major difference to our competitors is certainly that we do not only explain the what to do and how to do, but also the why. Because only when people understand why they should use this and this of an ISO system, only then we will get the necessary buy-in, right? So it's very important for us to put a considerable effort into motivating all relevant stakeholders. So we provide them from the word go on with a comprehensive ISO manual with all the policies, the procedures, and the forms, and even a number of SOPs. And that is the reason why we can implement an ISO system in just 6 to 8 sessions of 2 hours each. So as a result, well, we implement in average 120 companies per year.
This is really fascinating, and these are great results. And what would you say are the biggest challenges when you work with your clients and when you perform your consultancy jobs?
You know, interestingly, particularly when it comes to ISO 27001 implementation, we were struggling in the past, as this standard is quite different from the other standards. It requires a lot more input and work from the client side. And that proved to be a challenge. Remember, I said we work mainly with smaller companies. So these people, they are really busy with their daily work. They need to kind of steal the work to set aside to implement an ISO system. So to get them to set that time aside to work, for instance, on the comprehensive risk evaluation and assessment that ISO 27001 requires, it was really a struggle.
And how has Conformio helped you with this task?
So I must say, in the beginning, we were a bit skeptic, right? Will this software really help us? So, yeah. But we said, okay, let's give it a chance. Let's try it out. And my first consultant, Tim, who went for it and took that, call it risk, he was really impressed on how well this worked. The reason is where Conformio is so helpful. It lays out the roadmap of the implementation step by step and makes the client more confident that a successful implementation is achievable right from the start. The client, and by the way, also the consultant, they don't feel so overwhelmed with this particular standard.
Is there anything else that you like in Conformio?
Oh, yeah. You know, your visit, that is really great. It makes the creation of documentation really easy, and the way the tasks are generated once the policies are finalized, that is a great help. And then the way Conformio handles that tedious and comprehensive risk assessment is a lot easier than, for instance, using an ISO 27001 toolkit or templates.
Okay, great. It's good to hear. Is there anything else that we can do better? I mean, do you think that we should improve something in Conformio?
Yeah, that's not so easy to answer. It's pretty comprehensive and pretty good. But I think what my consultant's telling me is if you could make your documents available as in Word format rather than as PDF, okay, that would be really handy, and also having them fully editable in Conformio, that would really improve things even further.
Okay, great. Thank you for this feedback. And yeah, actually, we're working already on it. So we'll actually launch this feature in the next couple of months. So thank you for this.
Good to hear.
And as a last question, what are you able to do now as a consultancy that you were not be able to do before you started using Conformio?
So, with other ISO implementations that we do, we always need to manually update after every session our progress on a manual implementation checklist, an Excel checklist, right? And that can also be quite tedious, if you overlook something and then you have various clients through the week, it's just, if that is not kept accurate, you kind of getting lost. So we find that really helpful that Conformio tracks our implementation progress with each client and also tracks the task assigned to the client. It also helps the client to see where they are, what they still need to do, what is outstanding. So there is no manual tracking necessary. Conformio does it all for you, and that's really great.
Okay, great. So I assume that this helps you then decrease the amount of work that your consultants have to do, and also, let's say, increases the satisfaction of your clients, right?
Yeah. You don't forget things, you don't overlook things. Yeah.
Okay, great. This was really a great great talking to you, and yeah, thank you for these insights, Armin.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Okay.
We look forward to continue working with you and your company.